And we are live, guys. Welcome to Sports Jazz, everyone. Isaac, Josh, and David, as always, the usual suspects. We are back in the building. We are back in studio. And today we are all out again. We are going to be looking at Arsenal. We've looked at it. We did talk about it last time, but today we're coming back again as they are looking ready to solidify. In other words, they are rebuild and everything looks so on point. And it's safe to say they're title contenders. They are ready to challenge for the title this time, ready to go toe-to-toe with Man City. So far, they've only signed one defender, Calafiori, and they've also, it looks like they might sign Mikhail Merino from Real Sociedad. And they're also working on another goalkeeper because Ramsdale might be going out on loan very soon. So once again, guys, welcome to Sports Jazz. My name is Isaac, Josh. And let's kick it off, baby, with the Arsenal's title challenge. Yeah, David, you being an Arsenal fan, I'll start with you today. Considering the current squad, I mean, are you guys ready for the title challenge? I know you've not been so busy in the transfer window, but at least for those, for the position for, I mean, the signing, sorry, that you already have for Calafiori is a very good one, and it's going to make a huge impact, although we haven't seen him play.
Yeah, it feels for the last three, well, this is the third, for the last, effectively the last two, excluding this one, the last 2 seasons, we have felt ready. We have always felt ready. And it's very similar to this time round. We have strengthened in a way that has, pleased almost everyone. It has been the acquisition of Calafiori has been universally embraced by everyone as a necessary one to improve the strength of the team. Personally, I also like it because of.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Nick's. Nick is saying, sorry to cut you off. Josh is wearing a suit today. Yeah, sorry. Please carry on.
Guy is a counselor. So anyway, one thing that is clear is that we have strengthened well, especially at the back. I don't remember exactly who said those words, but one of the famous managers in the past said, I think it was Mourinho or someone said, strong defenses, strong attacks win games, but strong defenses win titles. It feels
it was Sir Alex Ferguson.
Sir Alex Ferguson, yeah. We have primed our defense to be a title-winning defense, and not just the backline, but all through. Just the methodology that we apply as well as the personnel. So in that regard, at least I feel like we're ready this time, probably even better than we were last season.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And yeah, Josh, I mean, before I get to, sorry, Josh, before I get back to you, or rather, before I come to you, David, you're playing Aston Villa on Saturday. Aston Villa is really looking great. They've signed very good players. Yeah. You call them what?
The bogey side, like the last time they did one on the day.
Yeah. Are you walking into that match confident, knowing that you're going to win? Is Arsenal going to smash? Are they going to carry on? Your first game, you won 2-0 of the season. You've already won 2-0. Are you also walking confidently into that game? Because Aston Villa is not an easy team.
Yeah, Aston Villa is one of those teams we actually highlighted as a dark horse. And Aston Villa is as dark as they come. But you see, the thing with Arsenal is we're not exactly worried about what they will do. These days, our concern shifted to, can we get past these? So what do I mean by this? We are solid enough to keep them away. We know that Aston Villa has set up a very, very offensive side, probably one of the most offensive in the league at this point in time. But we're solid enough to keep them out. Although you'll find that the manager has a bone to pick with Arsenal. He could probably feel like he has something to prove.
Oh
They
yes,
have
he wants to prove something after how
yeah,
you chased
even
him
if
away.
I were the one, I mean, that would be the thinking, you know. Also, they have a good set of players, including personally, I feel like one of the players they have is or some of the players they have are those that got away from Arsenal, you know. So just with that in mind, it's a side I'm very anxious about. They are strong
Okay.
in almost all areas, not at the level of Arsenal, but we have seen how they are capable of dismantling most of the opposition to the point that we were rating them as one of those that could actually just step into the top 4 even if everything goes well for them. They have
And they already
it's
you
not
mean
very
next
obvious
season?
to me where their weakness is this very season that has started.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, so it just feels like it's one of those sides. I'm confident we may get past them, but I'm not so sure we can
As
score
you
enough
said,
goals, because our issue this season round is how many goals are we going to score? Everyone has been talking about how we need a center forward. Of course, we smashed our goal tally from the past,
CDM
but
too.
yeah, but you don't feel like it's very clear how many we're going to put past them, because that's the issue for Arsenal now. We were just 6 goals short of Man City last season.
Yeah.
Speaking of small margins, we want to
6
be able to score
goals
as many
short,
goals.
2 points short.
Yeah, so that's the other margin we have to address. How many goals can we put past Aston Villa? Aston Villa could very easily Aston Villa would be happy if they came out with a draw from Arsenal. They have a very strong midfield. They even strengthened with experience. Ross Barkley joined them. Yuri Tillemans is there. He's one that we just tried to seduce for an entire transfer window. They have a good team. They have good experienced players, and their project also looks almost as attractive as ours. We'll probably just talk about the gap in quality that we have and that they do, but they're definitely one of those teams that can genuinely hurt us. So for me, my issue coming to that fixture is how many goals can we score? I would hate if we start with a draw. Beating Aston Villa would be a serious confidence boost for
Yeah.
us.
It's not
Is
an
the way
easy
I
team,
see it.
especially with Unai also having his
Yeah,
beef. He
he
would
could have
really
a
want to
contract,
prove a
and
point to
he's
you
done
guys.
well at Aston Villa.
Is
Yeah,
completely well. I mean, they're in the Champions League this season. I think that's why
yeah.
they're
They
buying
have a
players.
goalkeeper I actually respect,
Oh,
possibly
he
more
just
than
signed.
most in the
He
league.
just signed a contract. Okay, he just renewed, extended the contract with Aston Villa. You can see those
Emiliano
that are
Martinez.
interested. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just right down scrolling through. He just, got more years for the club. He's staying there, and improved contract as well in terms of salary, wages, and he's a keeper. I mean, he's a keeper who'd walk into any team and benches whoever he
Yeah,
finds there. Yeah, Josh, thank you
he
so much,
has
David.
all the
So
ingredients of a modern keeper.
exactly, exactly. Thank you, David.
And then
Josh,
before we forget, they
yeah.
added Amadou Onana. Like that
Oh,
could give you,
big money
reason to
signing,
pause and think.
50
Yeah,
million
and he
pounds.
started
And
well with a goal
it's
in
yeah,
his
very
first
good
game, so
header.
he's also very confident. Probably he's feeling confident as we get into that one.
Mm,
True.
thank you. Yeah, yeah, Josh. Coming to you now. Uh, Arsenal for you this season. Last time they only lost. It's still. Oh, by the way, it's still Aston Villa last season. You
Yeah.
remember? It's still
Yeah.
Aston Villa
Yeah,
last season that crushed Arsenal's title hopes, beating them. Was it 3-1 or
yeah.
2-1?
It's
3-1.
it's it's
Two
it's it's
one.
the one fixture that
I think
could
it was
have.
3-1. David, was it 2-1 or 3-1?
I forget, but we can find out.
2-1. Oli Watkins.
It
And
was 2
Leon
goals.
Bailey.
Yeah.
And Leon, okay, yeah, yeah, 2 goals. Yeah. I mean, is it the same thing? Are they upsetting them in the first leg of the season, EPL?
Well,
Okay, but for now,
that's
let's not focus. I don't want us to focus so much anyway on Aston Villa. But
yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
what I'm
that's
trying to say is,
yeah, that's
considering,
a tough one. But
yeah,
for this title charge for Arsenal, you should know that the confidence is at an all-time high at Arsenal, with their fans buzzing with
mm,
optimism. Like everyone is really hopeful for what they are going to achieve this season, and this is all premised on about two components. One of them being Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta has managed to create a group of hungry, committed players who have found a way to grind out results. And yet on their day, they are mesmerizing. I mean, they scored so many goals last season, yet everyone is still talking about Arsenal needing a target man. But for me, I've come to accept that the manager does not need a target man. Maybe he's the type of manager who has set up his side to have a quartet of midfielders so they can have very many solutions when they're in the final third, other than a target man through whom everything should be. That if this particular target man fails, then the team is stuck. But then when you have so many solutions in about 4 players, then they have a better chance of winning a football match. I think they even scored more goals than the Invisibles side. This Arsenal side, yeah,
definitely.
But you can argue that even the Invisibles would not have won the Premier League last season because they finished that season with 90 points, right? Arsenal finished with 89, but they were still too short. Yeah. So I know the jury is still out on whether Mikel Arteta has the capability to beat his adversary, Pep Guardiola, or whether he can manage to outwit him to a title. It is the small margins. The small margins for me is, for instance, when it's a tactical battle between Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta, who is going to come out on top. Last season, you can say everything was in place for Mikel Arteta to win the title because the Man United, the one you would think that would be a title contender, was far off because they had problems of their own in-house. Liverpool, that you would think would have been a contender, so much was going on that, as we later realized, Klopp was spent. He was tired of whatever he was doing, or whatever he had done before. And Chelsea was Chelsea. They were out of sorts. So the title was there for the taking. That apart from Man City, Arsenal looked like the second best team. But going into this season, I don't see how Arsenal is still in pole position for the title, despite them being the most prepared of the rest. Because when you look at it, at Man United, Eric Ten Hag is going into his third season, and things appear to have the dust appears to have settled. Things have taken shape, and this season might be a very different for Man United than it was last season. So when the battle comes of Pep Guardiola against Mikel Arteta, Eric Ten Hag against Mikel Arteta, who is going to win those battles? Then there's a new boy in town. There's Ancelotti at Liverpool. You know, much as Jurgen Klopp was spent and he was tired of the whole Premier League thing. Now there's a new manager at Liverpool. Liverpool could have different ideas this season, so they actually throw themselves in the mix. Then
for
there's
the record, I believe
Unai
they
Emery.
do.
There's Unai Emery. We cannot write him off. We cannot refuse to acknowledge the how good a manager he is. Then at least Mikel Arteta this season will not just be fighting Pep Guardiola, but at least 3 other managers who are capable, and he has to be able to outwit them.
Thank you.
For us to have a chance.
And Nick is asking, David, for you, Arsenal finished 2022-23 season 84, then last season 89. Do you think Arsenal will surpass last season's points?
Yeah,
David?
Nick, I think you've asked a very good question. I was exactly thinking about that, and maybe we can rephrase it a bit and say
114. Are we hitting that
with the limitations we had last season, and how marginal they really were? Have we done enough to beat our performance from last season? And the answer is I have one eye on whatever is left of the window. We have areas to strengthen, certainly. We've been talking about how good Man City is, and you know that they have strengthened. They have more firepower at the front, as if last season's performance was not enough. Before we even talk about the previous seasons, they have more firepower in Savinho. Oscar Bob is another one to watch. And now, news coming in is that they have, what would be the word? They have a prodigal
Resigned?
son returning home, right?
Yeah.
The old boy
In
coming back.
Gundogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Gundogan's quality speaks for itself. So this
How could
team
Barcelona release
is,
him? Barcelona.
I also wonder. It's money
It
related
is
always.
said.
They
It
are
is said
pushing.
that. Sorry.
Yeah, Josh. It
Yeah,
is
yeah,
said.
yeah. They
Just a minute. Yeah, Josh. Info, please.
Oh, it is said that the dressing room at Barcelona never got over the fact that Ilkay Gundogan called out Araujo
Ah,
when they lost
okay.
the Champions League game, and
Mm-hmm.
Araujo dashed and got red carded and gave away a cheap foul.
Yeah.
At that time, Gundogan in a presser just called him out and said, "There's no reason to go on the floor, as in give
you
us a
see,
chance."
David.
sorry to digress here, but Barcelona keeps paying a very high price for pursuing cheap values.
Mm.
Yeah,
All they wanted was money. They just found a reason, a very trivial one, to push him out. But what they really wanted was, him to. They wanted to play around with their balance sheet. Anyway, on Arsenal, you see, Man City seems to be pushing the boundaries ever so slightly, and that's what Arsenal has to do. The weaknesses we have, in order to answer Nick, is, in my opinion, we still fall short at the front. We still fall short. Even if we had goals distributed across the team, we still fall short at the front because, first of all, one of the people, the linchpins of our attack, is injury prone, very injury prone, as sharp as he has started the season, right? We saw the scare that Saka gave us in the Wolves game. He almost limped off if it weren't for grace. So that leaves Martinelli. I believe Martinelli has slowed down in his development compared to how he started. He was developing and growing in leaps and
Agreed.
bounds,
Agreed,
but
David.
he
Yeah.
seems to have hit a snag somewhere, and he's almost very
yeah.
predictable at the moment. And maybe that's because we haven't fished out anyone from the market to actually compete with him and push his quality. He definitely doesn't feel like Trossard is his competition, because Trossard is very, very versatile. It's almost as though, no, he's not here to compete with me. It's almost as though he's here to back up Odegaard, or like he can really slot in anywhere. He needs
Yeah.
one who is he needs a competitor. He needs someone he will compete for minutes with, in a very, very boxed way. Someone who is exactly like him, but with attributes better than him. We need backup for Saka. If we can address
You know,
those two,
David.
yeah.
yeah.
Trust me, I understand. I can fully understand your point even without banging the table. Because I
I
hear you
know
banging the table.
Martinelli, but for me, Martinelli, I've always had this feeling since I saw him. He was very electric as a
Mm.
kid, but he just looked like a Brazilian Theo Walcott.
So,
I
so
mean,
that
like
reminds me.
the best.
Yeah,
It was
it's good that you
it
bring
was
up
all
Walcott.
about
You
the
know,
best for you.
you know.
It's good
Again,
that you bring up
again
Walcott.
about Martinelli. You know, people were
Uh,
complaining and asking why he was. You know, he doesn't have a lot of international caps. Have you realized that? They've not
yeah,
called
Yeah.
him many times, and some people were asking. Even some were saying, "Why would you take Anthony over him?" You know, Arsenal fans. But
because
maybe
Anthony has
with what
some
David has
Brazilian
said,
flair.
yeah,
Mm,
with what David has said, it shades more light about the whole
Yeah,
thing.
but look,
true.
it comes down to competition. This
Mm,
kid, in as much as his development seems to have stagnated, we know
yeah.
that he has a high ceiling. I was thanking Josh for the example. Walcott was similar. Walcott, unfortunately, did not get the opportunity to play under very technical managers who could help his growth. He ended up, I don't know, Southampton or something like that, or I don't exactly remember. But another
Yeah.
example that went a different
Went to
way was
Southampton, went to
Sterling.
Everton. Mm,
Sterling was that profile, just a headless chicken, straight line runner. But under the right coach, he started to develop new facets in his
mm.
game. and there was also competition at Man City, so it was inevitable. By the way, we have been linked to Sterling as of today.
No, I don't think he'll come through.
What a
That's
signing that would be for Arsenal.
I think it would
Josh.
be a good signing, to be honest.
That is a
nothing,
very
then
good
for
signing
competition.
for Arsenal.
Yes.
Oh, the only
Like for
problem
like.
is that
The wages.
the only problem is that no, not really the wages, but let's say all that was out of the way. The problem is the three of them would be on that wing. There would still be no cover for Bukayo Saka because then
Yeah.
Martinelli,
Sterling
Trossard, and
can.
Sterling.
You know,
Sterling
guys, hold
can
up.
back up both.
David, now that you're talking about, I mean, we're talking about players. Let me bring this in, the squad management of Arsenal and how it could affect the team's performance if it's not well managed.
Yeah, that's another issue that is growing, and it can be perceived either way. It can be good or bad. In Arsenal's case, Arteta has shown a knack for very, very efficient and ruthless squad management. One of the reasons I believe Calafiori came in, we've seen how he's dealt with the stars before, the big stars we had. But when Calafiori comes in at a time when the previous season began with issues. I remember Gabriel had a spat with the manager. And I think the first one or two games or couple of games at the beginning of the season, he had to sit out until it was resolved. In the game against Wolves, I could almost feel the tension in our backline, which wasn't there before. There were errors by Saliba. There was a bit of an uneasiness about Gabriel. Saliba almost gave away a goal. Gabriel had like a few loose passes here and there. So you could almost feel the tension. There is that awareness that, okay, we have a high quality substitute on the bench. And anytime we blink, the guy takes the position. That's the situation. And I think in as far as our backline is concerned, it's a good one. But at the front, that's what we also need. And we don't have it.
We are coming to that. Josh, in 2 minutes, squad management, Arsenal. How would it affect the team?
I do believe that Mikel Arteta's superpower is his ability to better his side. Every time when you look at his side, even when he does not have too many new players, you see that the side is better than the one he had before. It's only this season, majorly because he has only signed Ricardo Calafiori. You see that it is strong at the back, and maybe the coming back of Thomas Partey will give him some nerve in the midfield. But I still believe it is lacking, especially on the side of Bukayo Saka, because Bukayo Saka has played way too many games. Yes, he's a fit player and he will always give you his best, but there will come a time that you need to rotate him. And that is a position that is worrying because he's one of their most capable players. Now, the way you manage those such players like Bukayo Saka, you don't sit him out. You don't sit him out in major games. You just have to play. I mean, you don't sit him out because he is injured. You just leave him out because you're resting him, and just even 1 or 2 games is enough.
Yeah.
That's majorly the problem that I have.
No drop off in quality.
And now you don't have that quality as Arsenal. There's no
I
player
think,
there. Then the front third, at the front.
That's what
I do not understand why Arsenal is insisting on letting go of Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah is a proper footballer. Eddie Nketiah offers you what you don't have at the club. Because Mikel Arteta has demonstrated that he does not want an out-and-out striker. He does not want your Erling Haaland or Ivan Toney or a player like that. He prefers to play Kai Havertz. He prefers to play Gabriel Jesus. Then if he has Eddie Nketiah on his cards, why not keep that kid? Convince the kid, your turn is coming.
To be honest, I also don't understand why they're trying to let go of Nketiah.
You know what I think?
He did give them, David.
And I think it's a tactical error because we see that these days the game and the way it's played and the way teams set up evolves much more rapidly than in the past, to the point that we could see shifts in approach almost on a season basis, where before it used to take a couple of seasons. Teams could play a certain way in one half of the
5
league.
years.
Yeah. So the point here is this: the problem Nketiah is suffering from is almost the same as what Gabriel Martinelli is. No, Gabriel Martinelli is suffering from.
Why do you have to
those
do that,
two players,
Josh?
including the one who left, the midfielder player, Emil Smith Rowe. Those players used to give us a lot of verticality, where we would sit deep,
but anyway,
build up slowly, and then
David,
break very, very fast.
Maybe with Smith's issue, you don't have to worry much. Mikel Merino is coming through. Like
but the context here is what I'm trying to highlight. So whenever we would play like that, teams used to always press Arsenal. They used to fall into the trap of pressing Arsenal, and would start the build-up slowly, and then when we'd go through the midfield third, then we'd go on a fast break. And I remember Emil Smith Rowe was among the best players that season. Martinelli was electric. Nketiah banged goals. He had almost double figures in that season. But then teams started cooling off on the way they approach us now. They would set up a mid block or a low block. And now the directness starts to be, eliminated almost automatically from the game. So they have to adapt the way they play. Emil Smith Rowe suffered with that. He's now going out. Martinelli has no room to run. So that's a bit of a problem. I believe they can grow. But to agree with Josh, I would also keep Nketiah. He seems
you should keep him. He brings something, he brings something to the table, and very, very.
You remember the game that he played and he scored a hat-trick?
He reminds me of Giroud.
He can finish.
A super hat-trick.
Yo, Josh, he reminds me of Giroud, how do they call it?
The beat part player.
Yeah, but unsung hero. Giroud is the unsung hero of he used to be
Arsenal.
I think in every team he has gone to.
It's easy to overlook him, but when he gets on, he delivers the goods. So Nketiah is efficient in front of the goal.
Convince the kid, give him a new contract, let him hang around. He doesn't. He's still young. He doesn't have to play every game. Jesus is not the fittest player. As in their games that Kai Havertz is going to go 7 games without a goal. But the good thing is the setup at Arsenal allows for, like I told you, maybe Arteta has over the time he has showed that he prefers the quartet of midfielders. The goals will come from there. Havertz doesn't have to score every day.
Still on squad management, let's try to analyze Arsenal's front line. I mean, I also think their front line is a bit lacking. You have Jesus is a very fantastic player, no doubt, but he's not going to give you 20-25 goals a season. He's not going to. He's very good. His work rate is nice. He shifts and everything, but he's not going to give you 20-25 goals. And that goes for Kai Havertz too. Don't you think they should have at least added someone right there? David, let me pose this to you. You're contented with your striking. By the way, I know you scored 6 goals less, as you said earlier, than City last season. You scored very many goals in some games, but don't you think it would be nice also to solidify your front line?
To just up the quality ever so slightly. So I agree with you in that sense. In as much as we don't exactly have a goals problem, but our problem is not our goals. Our problem is how do we close the gap.
No. I know your problem is not goals, David. You scored many goals, but I'm saying,
definitely.
Okay, there are times when things just happen and everyone is injured, or even at times, assuming one dips in form.
It's exactly the idea. So where I agree with you is I feel like if it's a matter of closing the margin in quality between us and Man City, then we definitely have to invest in a center forward, right? Well, what I have seen is now the manager, one of the reasons he's getting Merino is going to complement and is going to be an important tool for our set pieces also, right? Because I think we're the best player at that last season. We probably have more set piece goals, or if we're not the best, we're among the best 3 in the league. I need to cross-check that fact.
So
Merino comes in and we are thinking that's probably going to be another outlet for goals. Look at the goal Kai Havertz scored over the weekend. Something similar, you see. So we have that other margin also that many teams don't have. So we should, in fact, we should invest in a center forward. But it looks like the window is closing. We're running out of time. Quality is hard to fish out in a very short time. Negotiations are illustrious these days. So it's one thing that has us concerned.
Thank you.
Personally, I do believe for Arsenal and the way Arteta plays, yes, you might need a center forward, but I think you need a midfielder who is better than Mikel Merino or a wing forward. Get Nico Williams. Get people, as in, you see, if you're trying to close the gap, you have to get the best that there is to add quality to your squad. Because Arsenal, at the point you're at, you're not just buying a player to have bodies in the side. The player must be quality. He must even maybe push the guy in the position out of the team. Then get that type of quality. For me, Mikel Merino, I don't think he's going to add much to the Arsenal side. Yes, occasionally he will score 3 headers in the league, but that's not good enough.
I know. I'm also wondering.
Yeah, that's not good enough.
And he's also excellent at the duels with the way United and these other teams are packing.
No. If you do, you know when you have Odegaard in your side and you're looking for a player to win duels in the air, that's not really a thing that you would want to do, because Odegaard is going to play on the floor all the time. He's going to play on the floor. I mean, if you're saying that Mikel Merino passes the ball forward quite often and precisely, I think Odegaard is the best at it, and you have him in your team. So the guy next to him should be a more dirty player. Yes, you can have a dirty player who passes the ball well, but he should be able to do the dirty work and help out Declan Rice and let Martin Odegaard flourish.
You know,
so for me, an addition up front in midfield or in up front should not be the level of Mikel Merino. Mikel Merino is a struggling team buying such a player. As in, it's not level of us not wanting to win the league.
So I think you meant to say Merino is a struggling what?
No,
player.
Not that it's a struggling player. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, for a struggling team, Merino would be an upgrade.
Okay, that's
to the problems they do have. But at Arsenal, when you're looking to win the league and you're adding quality to your side, Mikel Merino is not the player you're looking for.
Very good, Josh.
He's good. He's good, but
that brings us to the question.
Xhaka became a world beater almost overnight from a decent, club captain to a world beater. So I want to believe something can become of that. But also, when you talk of
Merino might just change.
Yeah, when you talk of Nico Williams, I'm thinking, yes, we want and this is the reason why I was actually in favor of the Sterling thing. Well, Sterling is not a cultural fit. Those discipline things, Arteta will not give those things the time of day. But in as far as his experience and his age, he's the type of player who can come in without rocking the boat. A player will not feel like he's going to be replaced. And yet, the drop-off in quality will not be significant if, let's say, Martinelli goes off for Sterling. Same as Nico Williams. Now, Nico Williams is the opposite end of that problem. Nico Williams would totally rock the boat. He would totally disrupt.
He would.
Because he would come in with the mind to take the position. And that would
100%.
I see how if he's better than what you have, if he's better, because if he's better than Martinelli on that side,
better than Martinelli in
yes,
some
by
aspect,
far. Then yes, if you push for such a signature, that's a statement signature. Even the confidence within the boys is much more. I'm not that it's not there, but it's
Josh,
much more. The dressing room is buzzing.
As we close and wind up, on Arsenal, because I wanted us to slightly, we tried it yesterday, but we had a few issues, but we are going to do it again, touch a bit of Chelsea. So, what should Arsenal do to challenge City for this very? I know you've almost said, but let's summarize it up real quick in a minute. What should Arsenal do? Josh, again, back to you to to have that edge over City.
First of all, you should know that Man City has quite experienced players and
The
who
do's
have
and don'ts
know-how.
for Arsenal.
Yeah, the who have know-how on winning and retaining a Premier League title. They've done it 4 times in a row.
Yeah,
Rodri,
first thing.
KDB, Ake, these all these players.
Gundogan is coming back.
Now Gundogan is coming back. They know
He's
how
already
to do
back, I
it,
think.
and yes, and
Yeah,
they
so
do have the manager who knows
yeah,
how to do it. Yeah. The problem that Arsenal has, the problem that Arsenal has, they've not yet recruited well to add quality to their squad up front.
when
They
okay,
don't,
up
they're
front.
not lacking in goals. They're not lacking in goals. But if that first team is um, not available, like 1 or 2 players are not available, say Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka, if you're playing Mikel Merino for Martin Odegaard, what is that? There's a drop off there. There's a drop off there. You can't tell me that, okay, Odegaard is out for 4 games. Mikel Merino is here to win air duels.
Yeah.
No, 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 no.
See,
So
by the good.
I still think that it will not be just about Man City. Arsenal might
Yeah.
fail to win over Ten Hag. He might fail to win over Anslot. He might fail to win over Unai Emery. Not that it is a given they will lose those games, but at least now the challenge in those environments is there this season than it was last season.
All right, thank you, David. Before you come in, I'm just saying here, Sky Sports just said Arsenal Arteta, sorry, Mikel Arteta is ready to commit his future, long term. He's ready to commit his future with by signing a long term contract at Arsenal very soon. Coming, in other words, coming very soon. Could be announced in the next few days. Yeah,
That's good
David.
for Arsenal.
David,
Yeah,
the do's
I
and
think
don'ts for Arsenal to
yeah
have an
that
edge
that
over City.
as we get into that, I just want to make a comment about that. You see, the
Mm,
man has built a model project, admirable almost across Europe, and we see that in the fact that players are now, for example, Mikel Merino, the president of Real Sociedad, just said that the club they were worried about coming for the player is actually the one that came for the player. So
yeah.
this just means Mikel Merino was going to stay at Real Sociedad if it were any other club other than Arsenal. You see, so that means the project is attractive on so many levels. But in order
Mm,
for us to make that last push this season, uh, barring injuries, if Vieira can get into stride as a deputy for Odegaard, and if we can
Yeah,
get a potent goal
much better.
scorer, I think we
mm.
shall be primed for this championship
I also think if you
against
get
any kind of opposition. If we got a center forward,
back line, you're very good. The keeper, no doubt.
Go
Midfield,
fight,
splendid.
go fight.
You need,
Arsenal cannot beat for Oli Watkins, and Oli Watkins does not throw everything to go to Arsenal.
even Ivan Tony, there's
Make the move.
apparently he wasn't put on the match day squad because someone is inquiring about him, and probably the player is also
I think
interested.
I saw a bid coming in from Saudi.
There's
There's
a Saudi
news.
one, but apparently there's the way the language of the manager seems to suggest there are other undisclosed ones. Maybe United and Arsenal are
You
involved
don't
there.
you don't smell the excitement in David's voice when he says that.
Fingers crossed.
Even the toes are crossed. It's like, yo.
Thank you, everyone who's been tuning into Sports Jazz. Yeah, still Isaac, David, and Josh. Yeah, we're still here. And guys, real quick, please let's dive into Chelsea. What's happening at Chelsea, guys? We touched about this yesterday. We said a few words, but let's break it down. At least we still have some time. What's really happening at Chelsea? I understand Yao Felix just signed for Chelsea, 44.5 million pounds, 6 plus 1 year. In other words, 7 years, six with an option to extend. But in fact, I saw Enzo Maresca earlier today in a press conference.
Felix has signed permanently.
Yeah, permanently, 44.5.
Yeah, 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years. If you to wrap it all around.
He has signed another deal of 7 years.
Yeah,
Committed 7 years.
That boy's
but that's
agent
how
must
Chelsea
be
does.
arrested.
That's how Chelsea does. It's
No,
business.
that boy's agent. Having signed a deal at Atletico Madrid of 7 years for the boy when he was so young, I know the deal was good at the time. I know he had all this money and all these things. The wages were good and stuff. But if you see that the boy has struggled throughout the 7 years at his parent club, having about 3 loans during the time he was at Atletico Madrid, the first opportunity that you get for the boy to sign a deal, you should not sign 7 years again.
Yes, he's getting money. He's getting, but we shall come back to João Felix, Josh. That's that's a topic for another day. Yeah, he has signed anyway, penned a contract at Chelsea, 44.5 million pounds. I still think it's little. I still think it's a lot of money compared to the form he is. I mean, how much did Atletico pay? 120 million euros?
Yeah,
Not
it's
Atletico.
about there.
No, it wasn't Atletico. It was Barcelona.
No, it was Atletico.
It was Atletico that paid
Atletico
120.
bought him as a child. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, Atletico Madrid. He was on loan. You see how confused you are. So
Yeah,
imagine
by the way,
his
he was on
agent does
loan.
not. His agent
was
does not
on
fathom
loan.
this confusion.
Guys, let's go into Chelsea. Earlier on, Enzo was saying he's really happy Yao is back. Yao Felix is back at Chelsea, and he can't wait to get started. He loved his time at Chelsea before, and he told his friends he would love to return to the Premier League one day. And well, guess what? He's there. And of course, now let's talk about what's happening in Chelsea in details, guys. Raheem Sterling. Right after the lineup, or the other time when Chelsea lost to Man City 2-0, I think it was even before, as soon as the lineup was there during the game, because I saw they were asking
just after
Enzo.
the game.
Yeah, they were asking Enzo in press after the game, and he said they've told him about it, but he hasn't even read anything about it. But today he came out bold when he was asked. He said, "Look, guys, I just want to be." He said, "I just try to be honest. I told Raheem he's going to struggle to get minutes with us. Ben Chilwell, he's also going to struggle here too." In other words, he told them, "I'm not working," because there's been rumors circulating saying Chelsea is working with, of course, they have over 40, 45 players. How are they managing? He came out today again and said, excuse me, he said, "I'm not working with 42 players. I'm working with only 21 players. The other 15, 20 are training apart. I don't see them. It's not a mess like it looks like outside. Absolutely.
I think we spoke
That's a
about
mess.
Listen. He said, he further on went on to say, they can even have 20 years contract. It's not my point. I don't care.
I do not need them now."
Nick, I see your question. We are going to come to you. Adieri, we are also going to come to you. But guys, what's happening at Chelsea?
God.
Josh.
Oh my God. Okay, it's deeper than we thought. Because I mean, if Enzo Maresca comes and clarifies
this
like
is
that,
coming out
then
yeah, also.
But you see, I still believe it was wrong what Sterling and his representative. There was a game, he was dropped. He was not in the match day squad, and okay, they had all this information, but then just after the game, they come out with a statement seeking clarity on the position of Raheem Sterling, because he has been training, he has been attending meetings, he attended preseason and did all these things. I do believe that it is wrong for the representatives to force the media, to make a decision, to force the media to use the media to force Enzo Maresca to make a decision on Raheem Sterling.
It's working.
It is not working.
No,
By
I'm
the
saying him
statement that,
using the media, because
yes,
majority of the media, everyone is coming out on Raheem Sterling.
Auntie, but now
In
you
other, they're
see,
in his corner.
yeah, it is one thing for the media to be in his corner, but it is Enzo Maresca just cleared everything because they sought
He
clarity,
cleared.
and he has
He
been very
cleared.
clear today. He has
It's
said the 21 players are not working with him, and he just told you that
no,
Raheem
he said
Sterling, you
he's
might
working with
struggle to have minutes.
he said he's working with the 21, the other 20, 15 or 20 not with him. But he further on
Yes.
went to say,
So,
I'm not saying Raheem is not a good player, but I prefer different kinds of wingers. It's that simple. That's what he said. It's
wow.
simple.
So he should just go to another club. Arsenal. David, there is your guy.
Man, I'm licking my lips over that one if it happened,
What?
because
Raheem
he
Sterling?
would be
Yeah.
yeah,
He's a headless
definitely
chicken,
would
bro,
work
man.
at Arsenal.
No,
No.
not at all. Not at
He's-
all.
Okay,
Depending
Josh,
on
Yo,
who
this
would
guy
you
is
have
a
him at
title
United?
winner 5 times. Yes.
Josh, would you have him at United in a heartbeat?
All day, every day.
And
Definitely.
start him over Rashford, right? But
No,
that one
unless I
doesn't.
look at the
Start him
player
over
and he
Rashford.
has unless I look at the player and he has gained weight, he has lost a bit of pace, he has such things. That's when I would. But that's Raheem Sterling, even who played for Chelsea last season.
Man City, Liverpool.
That's a good player.
By the way,
No, but
his
I
CV is
tell you,
heavy.
the one who played for Liverpool, that one I would take in a heartbeat. You see, the one who played for Man City, I would take in a heartbeat. But even the one who played for Chelsea, if he was not maybe if he hasn't gained weight or lost a tad of pace, you would still sign Raheem Sterling. It would be a very great addition. And like David said, that's not a player who is going to rock the boat. As in, he won't disrupt so much. He will just come, have his
Reinforce the
minutes,
quality.
reinforce the quality.
Yeah, and for me, as much as we want to talk about Sterling, I'm thinking still about the Portuguese.
Actually, we are not even talking about Sterling, not that, but I'm saying the whole, bro. Chelsea is a mess.
The whole situation. Yeah, I want to spotlight a situation there.
Yep, go at it.
I think what's his name? The Portuguese kid.
João Felix.
João Felix would
have 2 loans, man.
I mean, this transfer is good on him.
Yeah.
In the last probably 5 years, he hasn't felt it. It hasn't looked like he had a home anywhere.
He said it. He said almost, it. After 2 loans, Chelsea and Barca, I needed to stay permanently in one place. I needed to find a home, and Chelsea is now my home. It
simply feels like now he has a home in a good league, very competitive league. So that's one. 2,
and has all the
he
quality.
has an opportunity to compete with players with less experience. I mean, excluding Sterling, he genuinely has a chance to compete.
Yes. You know, he looks like the most experienced player now at Chelsea.
Yes, he would look like the most experienced. He's been to Europe. He's been all over the place. And then he has the quality to actually compete. But also, Enzo might be happy, Enzo Fernandez, because that's the right player supposed to play where he was played in that first game. And if you have to connect or to combine or to partner with João Felix, then it would make the job easy for him if he went in deeper roles, which I believe he's suited for. However, the whole situation looks as though now Enzo Maresca is fighting for his own job, and he's willing to be very ruthless. By the time he comes out and says the things he has said, he probably, you can't rule out the fact that he feels as though if he doesn't act, no one is going to act in his favor.
That is,
good thing.
And I think
the letter.
Yes, Josh.
The letter sought for clarity, and now he has given them clarity.
Yes,
that's very clear.
He seems to have taken a stand about the mayhem of just because there's still no reason why they're signing all this. It's not clear.
That's what I was going to say. They should stop.
What
but they should stop signing.
Addressing?
You know, they asked him if he would be signing.
Are they?
Wait, they asked him if he would be signing. He said, yes, we will be signing. If we find that player, definitely we shall add more players in the squad.
I think Roman Abramovich used to do that too. But the thing with him, he signed players young, and the players always were out on loan.
Yeah,
they always went out on loan when they were young.
Yeah.
So
they have very
if you
many,
can do
very
that,
very many players on loan. Very many players on loan. Very many players.
even
Inside
the
the
youth
squad.
But
the youth players.
this time they've not loaned so many players because you see
Yeah, so
they have that botched up squad and the
Mm.
players are still there. And that's the only thing Enzo Maresca could have done actually to separate the two. You know, this you guys, you continue to be paid, but your team B.
yeah,
They've brought in over 10 players. Pedro Neto, okay, big money move, 50 million, 50 million pounds. Yao Felix, 44. Yeah, Neto from Wolves, Felix from Atletico, 44.5 pounds. Omari Kellyman, Aston Villa, 19. From Aston Villa, 19 million pounds. You have Mark Gehu from Barcelona, 15 million pounds. Then Karen, thank you. By the way, why did they pay 30 million pounds for Dewsbury? I don't
Drewsbury Hall.
understand.
Roosbury
Yeah,
is
Drewsbury
a
Hall
coach's
is
signing.
yeah, it's a coach's signing.
He
Is
was
this
very useful
midfielder
for
who made
Enzo Maresca.
things stick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, I don't
And then
think.
he's the humble guy who is going to be willing to do the dirtier stuff on the pitch. Clearly,
And
he's
I
going to
think
be useful with the pressing.
I still
he should
insist and
actually
think
be
they shouldn't.
he should actually be captain at Chelsea.
Josh,
However
don't.
much
Josh,
that
don't.
I
sounds,
would not be
yes.
surprised if
Don't.
that turned
Enzo
out to be the
Fernandez
case.
is no captain material. Enzo Fernandez is no
No, he's
captain
not. He's
material.
not. He's not. That I agree. He's not.
Not by any stretch.
I would actually give it to Fofana.
Yeah, Wesley Fofana maybe.
I'll give it to Fofana. Anyway, they still
But you
saying.
see, with their
Yeah.
backline, you still don't know who will start.
By the
Man.
they have very many players, and they're good players. By the way, if they find a very good, I don't know. It's going. Let's wait 5 games into the season, see how Enzo is going to, to line up. Still, guys. Anyway, the list goes on. They have Aaron from Boca, 15 million pounds, 15.8 million pounds. They have a Brazilian, Estavao. Is it Estavao? Sorry, William from Palmeiras, undisclosed fee. They have Philip, the keeper, Philip Jorgensen from
Jorgensen.
Villarreal, 20 million pounds. They have Caleb Willie from Atlanta, 8.5 million pounds. Renato Viega from FC Barcelona, 12 million pounds. Then those going there around, there's Conor Gallagher, 33, Lewis Hall, 28. That was a good one. 28 million pounds to Newcastle. Ian Matsen, Aston Villa, 37. That was also a good one. 37.5 million pounds.
They made some money.
Free. Yeah, Akeem free transfer. Then Thiago Silva released, Leslie released, rather on loan, Southampton. Michael Golding, Leicester, 5. Omari, Ipswich, 23. That's the kid who he had a very good game.
Omari Hutchison.
And he's a fan's favorite already. Yeah.
Yeah,
then of course you have Malang, contract terminated. I think the contract was terminated. He went to France. Andres Santos, loans in Strasbourg. Is it Strasbourg? Very many and more departures still to be finalized. Romelu Lukaku, Sterling, Trevor Chalobah. Amado has joined Fulham Ipswich on loan. No, as a free, I think. No, on loan. He has joined Ipswich. Then Ben Chilwell. Very many players. Keeper, who wants to go back to. I read somewhere when he was saying he would really want to go back to Real Madrid. Brother,
Kepa. Arrizabalaga.
Sorry?
He should leave. He should leave.
Yeah,
I don't like indiscipline in players.
The way that Enzo Maresca is slicing, at least it's clear now that one of the parameters he's using to slice that team is age. Even if I don't think 27 and 29 are very old, the average age of the rest of the players is significantly younger. And for me, that implies that we may actually discover that Enzo Maresca is going to have a longer contract at Chelsea if he's determined to make that kind of investment in time with the younger players, because that means he's going to focus on their talent and growing them. He may actually have longer time. And if he has the time that he's appearing to have based on the decisions that he's taking, then he's right. Let him hold his broom and sweep. maybe some order will be restored at Chelsea.
True.
Let him get his broom and start sweeping right away.
Yeah, let him sweep. Let him push those guys out. There are teams that want them.
I'm happy the Gallagher situation. I do not blame Chelsea for the Gallagher situation. I do not. I don't. Most people are fussed about it. The only issue was where I felt sorry for him was going to Spain, spending 5 nights in a hotel or 5 days, then again coming back, but trying to find the solution. But after this whole Yao Felix crossing over, everything has been cleared. But him leaving, he's a fan's favorite. He has been a fan's favorite. Captained Chelsea most some of the games last season. But I'm happy he left. He was ordered. He was given something, new contract, and he said otherwise. So they
You
told
see,
him, "Okay, you can go."
Conor Gallagher made the right decision because Enzo
It's also, by
Maresca
the way,
never
right.
fought for him.
Yeah,
Enzo Maresca never fought for him. He found himself in that situation. He let the situation go. But he could clearly see this player will be useless to my style of football. I will
Yeah.
not need him. He should be moved on. Now, if Raheem Sterling, your time is up. Time is up. Move on.
let him
Sign
go.
a new
Let him not put
agent.
up a fight.
I understand Rock Nation is now moving deals. Let him sign to Jay-Z and like get a deal somewhere in Barbados or something.
Guys, Nick says, Josh, as a United fan, do you prefer Ten Hag or Ten Hags?
Nice one, nice one.
Then,
But Ten Hag.
then of course you have Adieri. Josh, by the way, Adieri keeps
Tabsoba.
coming through. He keeps.
Tabsoba is really a good player.
Yeah, he's a good player. Then Alex Diaz from Chelsea.
Disasi,
sorry. Diaz.
Yes.
Disasi?
Yeah,
From,
Disasi also looks like a player. He looks like a player who will actually. By the way, Adieri, Newcastle can benefit from the situation at Chelsea, unless the biggest problem is the contracts. No, the biggest problem is the contracts that these players have. But even the wages, no, the wages may not be wild. It's the contracts that are really huge. So they'll require some compensation or something like that. But Exo Disasi can work for Newcastle, but I don't see Enzo Maresca using such a player.
No, he's supposed to leave. He's also by the way, some of the players that he's supposed to leave.
He should leave. He should leave.
Newcastle were going in for him because they are leaving the deal for Mark. He's outpriced.
I almost cried when I heard that United was interested in Disasi.
And you're giving him to Newcastle.
I was so happy when Chelsea signed him. I was like, thank God, as in he has gone elsewhere. But now that he's available, no, he can actually work for Newcastle. It's the manager that I have that I don't see how Disasi can ever play with the ball at his feet. I have Maguire.
Nicolas Gonzalez deal for Newcastle. It's also dragging. It looks like they're going to find.
Actually, it's even quiet now.
It's quiet.
Nicolas Gonzalez, it hit up, but it's quiet now.
It's quiet, very, very quiet. I think, yeah, that's Chelsea for you. Again, as I mentioned yesterday, Todd Boyle walking off after conceding 2 goals. That was really silly. He could have just people sit. They beat his team 5 goals, 6 goals.
Yo, maybe he didn't walk off. Maybe
comfortably. No,
maybe he just needed to go and do a number 2.
He stormed off. He was mad. He wasn't happy.
It's hard to think that he's not impulsive, if considering the signings he's making.
And by the
you have to
no, maybe he needed to
and he
maybe needed to do a number 2 like real quick. So
he needs to do the way
just bad timing.
The way Abramovich used to do it. Yes, he was the final man, but there was the lady, I'm forgetting the name, who used to handle all that.
Yeah.
That's what he should do.
But he has. No. He has. You remember when we did the Chelsea in-depth, I actually gave you the names of the directors and the people who are running the show at Chelsea, and it's not Todd Bowley. It's just that Todd Bowley is flamboyant. He's an American. I mean, he's not going to just sit back. He's not as old as the Glazers. He's not going to be. He's not going to be seated there and watching. And there's a whole
Anyway.
consortium. It's not solely him.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much, everyone that has been tuning in. Yep, we've gone on our amazing, very beautiful content today. Isaac, Sports Jazz, guys, please keep subscribing. Shout outs to Nick, as always, man, always in the comments, always waiting for us, by the way. Adiri, shout outs to you. Yusuf from Morocco, I saw you also. Shout outs to you. Someone else asked something, I'm forgetting who it was. Yeah, that's it, guys. Any last words, David and Josh, before we jump off?
Like, subscribe.
Yeah, as always, guys, please do like, subscribe. That would be really, really,
Cheers,
that really helps.
subscribe, continue viewing our videos. Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Peacing out.